Huge breaking news in the world of sports today. But for listeners and watchers of Jalen Jacoby, it's not that. It's broken news.
To everyone else, it's breaking news. To Jalen and Jacoby listeners, it's broken news.
Well, a long time ago, into this very microphone, in this very studio, you spoke about Anthony Davis's future. Let's take a listen.
New Orleans, open your ears. Get used to watching Anthony Davis play basketball in your uniform, because this will be the last season he does so. I know everybody saw the news about him joining Clutch Sports over the past couple of days. I am predicting that Anthony Davis ends up in Los Angeles with LeBron James.
So, the news this morning, through his agent, Rich Paul, who also happens to, be a close friend of LeBron James, Anthony Davis announces that he does not want to play for the Pelicans. He's not going to sign an extension, and he has officially requested a trade. Jalen, there's so much to discuss here. What was your first reaction when you heard this?
No surprise, just because this is what I do for a living, and I already understood that this was going to take place. It was just a matter of when. I'll give you guys the actual reason why it's happening right now.
Why is it happening right now?
A couple of things. The Lakers have a 10-day window to get a deal done.
Mm-hmm.
When the Boston Celtics cannot negotiate with the Pelicans based on the Derrick Rose rule, can't add a maximum guy that you've already traded for like they did with Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
So in order for them to acquire a deal for AD right now, that would mean trading Kyrie right now, which they're not going to do, or waiting to July 1st. So now, when you're the Lakers, the reason why we're only talking about those two teams, and I'm really sensitive about national media always acting like they want to force players to the storied franchise or to the large market, is because of the assets available. When the Paul George deal happened, Victor Oladipo wasn't an all-star yet. Sabonis wasn't an all-star yet. He was in the final year of his contract. OKC was rolling the dice. When the DeRozan and Kawhi Leonard deal happened, Kawhi's in the last year of his deal. DeMar has a couple of years left on his contract. Toronto's rolling the dice. No team is going to trade for Anthony Davis, who's considered a game-changing franchise player, and give up their second best player, because you're clearly not giving up your first best player. So now it's like, who has the assets to get this done? Who has the wealth of young talent? Lakers. Who has the wealth of young talent and the draft picks? Celtics, in order to get a guy next to LeBron James in LA.
I mean, there are other teams that could put together a package, but those teams are not the type of teams that Anthony Davis wants to sign with and extend. So then you're giving up everything to not have Anthony Davis.
Well, but here's what makes this tricky. Boston can fall into that category as well. He could tell the Celtics, do not trade for me because I'm not going to re-sign.
But that doesn't mean he won't end up in the green.
This gets back to my point of why the timing is right now. The timing right now is, I'm a player, career highs in points, career highs in rebounds, career highs in assists, career highs in steals. We're not in the playoffs, and obviously that's on the best player. I'm not going to let him off the hook in this era of, oh, you can't win as the best player. Now you want to go run with somebody else, which is fine. But the second thing is, now I'm not starting in the All-Star game. I'm taking steps back. Y'all messing with my money. I want to get out of here.
So I know we talk about LeBron all the time, but we have to talk about LeBron's role in this, because there are some things that happen. He signed with Clutch Sports. All right, fine, we get it. But then when the Pelicans go to play in Los Angeles against the Lakers, what happens after that game? LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they don't just have dinner together. They have dinner together at a restaurant, knowing that everyone's going to find out about it. Then there's this announcement on a Monday morning, 10 days before the trade deadline, when it's time to get the deal done. This all feels like LeBron and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports telling the rest of the league that Anthony Davis wants to play in Los Angeles.
So also, and I'm one of the people as well that enjoyed the era of the 80s and the 90s, where I had the remote control in my hand and all-stars were spread throughout the league. Now, with LeBron James as the best player, no blame of his, he's been a unique combination of successful dominant player and powerful businessman and industry guy that moves the needle.
In and outside of basketball.
Correct. So when he's the first guy as an MVP, Moses did it in the early 80s, playing in his prime, that jumps from Cleveland because I don't think, even though I'm the best player, I can win here. And he goes to Miami to team up with Wade to get some of that championship mojo that Pat Riley had fostered in Miami. That was the changing of the guard in the league. So Kevin Durant can say, I know I play with Russ, but I'm leading the league in scoring 4 times, and people saying, when you gonna get a championship? I need to go join the 73 ring
But what's
Warriors.
wrong with this, Jalen? Like, you sound like the old get off my lawn guy. I like the old stuff when everybody hates each other. I don't like the new stuff where everyone joins together.
I just don't like to see my favorite players exchanging jerseys on the floor unless they're Dwayne Wade in the final year of his Hall of Fame career.
Stop it. Jalen, you need to change that.
I remember there were times when I got along with former teammates on opposing teams. I got along with guys that I went to school with, friends in the league. You know what happened when my team lost? I walked to the locker room. I got your phone number. I don't have to hug and kiss you on the court right now.
So bring it back to Anthony Davis.
Correct. That's why I'm bringing it back to Anthony Davis, because it's my responsibility as somebody that works in the media and is a former player that's acknowledging that he goes from being the best player on a playoff team to acknowledging that he can't be the best player on a championship team.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair assessment, though. No one's talking about the Pelicans being contenders for a championship. You add AD to the Lakers, you're talking about them being a championship.
Okay.
So now